What is up, guys? It's Blake here with Trade Tracer. Make sure you go ahead and click that link in the description for access to free signals in my Telegram channel. Also, hit that like and subscribe if you think this is educational and valuable content. As you guys know, none of this is financial advice, and I am not a financial advisor. Always invest at your own risk. So let's go ahead and get into it. We've got the SPY pulled up here on a monthly time frame. And typically when we start to do this analysis, we like to look at a higher time frame so we can get a general, bird's eye view of what's actually going on in the stock market. So as you guys know, we've talked about this long-term uptrend line for quite some time now. It dates back to the 2009 lows, and we are coming into that support area as we speak right now. Now, I want you guys to see something, and I drew these lines in here because in my Telegram group, I talk about technicals a lot and, breaking market structure and confirming price strength. And I want you guys to have an understanding of what I actually mean by that. So when I refer to breaking market structure, I just refer to, breaking a trend line, breaking below a trend line, or breaking above a trend line. That is breaking market structure. So the last time that we've had this exact setup, okay, and you can see we do have a bearish MACD crossover with a lot of volume coming in, and we do have a confirmed downtrend on the monthly time frame, so long as we can close below the previous month's low. And it looks like that's probably going to happen. So in the monthly time frame, we're starting in a downtrend. So not a good look overall. We do need to hold this trend line, because if we don't hold this trend line, that would be considered breaking market structure on a higher time frame, and I would look to start taking a long-term short position in the market. Now you can see the last time that that's happened. Okay, this is the 2000 .com bubble, right? So we broke market structure, MACD bearish crossover below the 10 SMA. That's this blue line in the background, and we started this downtrend. Well, the same thing happened when we broke market structure on the uptrend. MACD bullish crossover above the 10 SMA, broke market structure, nice uptrend. Okay, so you can see a trend here. So this is a very important trend line, and that's really the key to everything, to the entire stock market. If you're looking at Amazon or Apple or Facebook or Nvidia, any of these big names, you're going to want to be trading with the trend of the overall market. And that's why we typically trade just the S&P 500, the Nasdaq, and if we want to, we'll have some leverage on those indexes, and make our money that way, because it's a lot easier to go with the flow of the market instead of trying to predict which individual stock in that market is going to outperform. So monthly time frame, we are coming in close contact with that trend line. If we don't hold it, like I said, I will be looking for some long-term short positions. Now we've only got a couple days left in this month, so we're going to see by the end of this week where we're going to close for the month. That in mind, now on the weekly time frame, now this is the time frame that I like to utilize for my personal long-term investments. Those of you that follow in Telegram, this is what I'm looking at when we are using the investment portfolio allocation. So I'm looking at the weekly time frame, and you guys can see once again this trend line has been very important. That's the same trend line that we just talked about. And you can see last week we tried to make a push above, but couldn't close above the trend line. Okay, so still in a downtrend on a weekly time frame. Now on the daily time frame, this is the time frame that we utilize for swing trading. Okay, now a swing trade is a type of trade that you typically sit in for the better part of a week to several weeks, depending on how the trade plays out. And on Thursday of last week, so this was Friday, on Thursday, we actually confirmed an uptrend on the S&P 500. So we are technically in an uptrend. Now, those of you that follow know that's what we've been looking for. That's what we've been waiting for. We've sat out essentially this entire downward price movement and waited for uptrend. Okay, so this is technically what we're waiting for. We're waiting for price to confirm above the previous day's candle close above the 10 SMA with a MACD bullish crossover. So technically speaking, we're in an uptrend. Everything looks fine. Now, the reason that on Friday I started to take some risk off and actually bought some bonds was because of the last 30 minutes of trading. So let's go ahead and take a look at the hourly chart. Okay, so the hourly chart, this breaks it down into one candle. Now, each one of these candles is 1 hour worth of trading. So you can see this trend line, the same trend line we've been talking about, has been a point of interest for the better part of the past half month. Okay, so we've been trading on this trend line since March 12th. Okay, so this is a decent chunk of trading activity, all corresponding with this trend line. Now, one of the things that I don't like, all right, is when we closed on Friday. So these candles right here, from here, this little box right here, this is Friday's trading action. Now, Friday, we rallied throughout the entire day. It looked strong. We started to move above the trend line in a positive fashion. But the last 30 minutes of trading, the last hour of the day, we sold off really hard, and we actually closed below that trend line area, that trend line support. So the area that I was watching was the 153.40 area, and you can see we closed, right around there. Okay, so we do have a bearish MACD crossover on the hourly time frame, so we're gonna have to wait and see where futures open. So right now I'm cautious, and that's the reason why we took some risk off going into the close on Friday. So right now we do have a very small position, which is a longer term position, provided that this uptrend on the daily time frame still plays out. Okay, so we do have a small position on the SPY because we are in uptrend. Okay, those are our rules to trade. We're in uptrend. I'm going to take the trade. It's all about playing odds. Okay, now I am, like I said, being very cautious because technically we are closing below what I consider price strength confirmation. Now, price strength confirmation is, in my opinion, 1 day closing above the candle that broke above the 10 SMA. So the high of that candle that broke the 10 SMA, which is 256.35. Ideally, that's where I want to stay above. Okay, I want to stay above this line, which is also above the trend line. So as long as we stay above 256.35, I'm full steam ahead. We're in uptrend. We have price strength confirmation. Everything's good to go. But on Friday, we didn't close above that level, so I'm cautious. All right. Also, the reason that I got into TLT, we opened a position late on Friday into the close because TLT, once again, is an uptrend. Okay, the bond market has been extremely strong. The Fed is injecting a ton of liquidity, and we are continuing to make new highs on the TLT, on the bond market. So we do have rules to trade long on bonds. And let me show you something that I really liked into the close was the hourly chart. Now, to me, this looks like a potential inverse head and shoulder. So this could be your left shoulder, here's the head, and here's this kind of flat right shoulder looking like it wants to make a run back to these highs around the 279, 280 area. Okay, we do have a fresh bullish crossover in the MACD, and we kind of held this high and tight and break into the upside. So I like bonds. That's why we got into that on Friday, and hope this video was helpful. I'm putting together a complete mastery trading course, so that'll be soon to come, and hope to see you guys soon. Make sure you check out the links in the description. Take care.